Hi Capricorn and Capricorn Rising. Here is your horoscope for August 2025. I'm Astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, we're starting off the month in kind of a slow mode. And this is because Mercury is still retrograde right here in the 8th house of shared resources, deep psychological transformation. This is the house also associated with money and loans and investments. And so you're thinking about all of that stuff. Of course, your ruler is also retrograde along with Neptune right there and Pluto. So we have 4 planets in retrograde, which means retro just means going back. And so in our minds, we're thinking about everything we've done, the connections we've made, revisiting the past in some way. Now, there is some good news this month because the theme of relationships is definitely highlighted here as Mars makes its way out of Virgo and into Libra, into the 10th house of career and status. And so I'll get to that in a minute. But Jupiter is going to meet up with Venus, which is in Cancer, right here in your 7th house of relationships. So this is going to be a conjunction around the 12th. And this is really a nice alignment. When Venus and Jupiter get together, they are very usually pretty positive energy. And it's in the opposite sign of Cancer, like I said. So this is the 7th house of relationships. So if you're a sun sign Capricorn or a rising sign Capricorn, this reading is for you. It's based on Western tropical astrology using the whole house systems, where we put the sign that, we're going to do the reading on right there on the first house, and then we see where the planets lie. Now, the thing about these sun sign readings is they're very generic. They're very basic because everyone's birth date is different. Everyone's birth chart is different. So again, we have to be general about what we see. Okay, so take that, with a grain of salt. And that's why I keep tossing different things out there to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. All right, your birth chart could be, you could have some major transits or alignments going on that override the basic sun sign. So anyway, we have the sun going through Leo this time of the year, which is always a good time for financial checkups and doing things on a deeper level, more passion, more desire to be seen and heard. This is the general theme with the sun going through Leo in the 8th house. And so everything about this month is definitely about relationships, as I said. So on the 6th, late on the 6th into the 7th, Mars enters Libra. Now, Mars does not do very well in Libra because the energy of Mars is get up and go and fiery, and it's very self-oriented, and it wants action, it wants a challenge, and it's in its opposite sign of Libra, which is none of that. Libra's all passive and wants to get along and wants beauty and fairness and justice. And so Mars doesn't know what to do when it's in Libra. So the theme here for the next 5.5 weeks or so, because it's in the 10th house of career and status, there may be a lot of socializing and interacting with Mars in Libra, which is great, but there could be also some indecisiveness, decision making could be a little bit iffy, especially the first 9 days of the month of August. It's very tricky energy that's coming in those first 9 days, including the full moon. So career matters or relationship status could be in limbo the first 9 days of the month. So keep that in mind. And so when you find yourself maybe not sure what you're doing, remind yourself of this Mars in Libra, okay? So we also have the full moon in Aquarius that's going to highlight the 2nd house of income and values as well. This is going to be at 17 degrees of Aquarius, so wherever that is in your actual birth chart. But both of these houses, the 2nd house and the 8th house, deal with things pertaining to the physical world, like possessions or money or investments, And so when you have a full moon here, there's something of a realization sets in. Maybe you made an investment, it's doing great. Maybe you made an investment, it's not doing great. So you're thinking about all of that stuff here. Aquarius moon can be very technical as well. Maybe you're making an investment in something that's technologically driven, like a new computer or something, fancy electronic. That is the theme as well. And so this full moon is coming to terms with goals or your long-term goals. where you want to be financially, what you want to invest in. This is all part of the equation here. Again, I wouldn't make any life-changing decisions around this time because the energy is kind of wonky. Mercury is still retrograde. And so this is more about thinking and processing and trying to figure things out a little bit. So keep that in mind. Now, on the 11th, things really begin to change because Mercury begins to go stationary and then direct. And there it is right there in the 8th house. So anything pertaining to finances, anything pertaining to the deeper psychological side of life should gain a little clarity now, okay, over the course of the next couple of days into the week. As Mercury picks up speed, it should start getting a little bit more defined, a little bit more clear about what you want, what your goals are. And so keep that in mind as Mercury makes its way forward. Now here's that wonderful alignment on the 12th right there. See it? And so this is going to be very important because this absolutely involves another person, an idea, a concept with another person. Maybe it's a business contract or agreement. Maybe there's a legal issue. It really depends on your own personal birth chart. But this is generally, in astrology, a very favorable alignment when Venus and Jupiter meet. Now, we're talking about Cancer. Cancer is all about security. Cancer is about the home. Cancer is about the family. And so it could pertain to things related to that, okay? Because look at all these planets. Look at all this energy in the 4th house at the time that this is conjunct. So the themes are emotions, feelings, either being grateful or happy, or, just being a little irritated for some reason. Cancer can be a very irritated sign if it doesn't get what it wants. So Jupiter expands and Venus wants peace and tranquility. So it really depends on you, and how you deal with this energy. I see it as a positive, so this could be somebody new. Maybe you're just having a good time with somebody for a couple of days, and maybe you're rehashing an old relationship and you're just catching up and you're having a great time conversing, that kind of stuff. So it's all part of that alignment. Now, the energy begins to change on the 22nd when the Sun enters Virgo in your 9th house. Now, this is where you start looking towards the future. The 9th house is a very futuristic house, and Virgo is very analytical. So you might find the OCD going up a little bit during the Sun making its way through this part of your chart. But the 9th house is also the house of adventure and having more fun. So traveling is definitely highlighted here as well for many of you. So take a short trip, go see something new, get out in nature, whatever. It's all about mobility and moving forward, okay? Even though there'll be a lot of time for dealing with small details because Virgos love to deal with small details. But this is an alignment over the next 30 days where you should venture out a little bit, at least in between work and, having a good time and being playful. Now, the new moon on the 23rd also highlights this 9th house. So it's suggesting either a new belief system, a new way of looking at things, some travel, maybe just being more playful and having more fun. Maybe there's a new job where you're traveling. That is possible here because the 9th house, again, is traveling. And so it really depends on where this is in your actual birth chart, but generally speaking, everything that I just mentioned. Maybe you become more curious and you want to learn. Education is also under this house. And so Virgo here is looking at all the small details and all the things you need to do with regards to your purpose or your responsibilities. That's what Virgo energy, like Capricorn energy, can be very responsible. Now, on the 25th, Venus leaves Cancer and now goes into Leo in the 8th house. Now, Venus in Leo definitely wants more attention. It is definitely more romantic driven. It is more financially driven. And it's in the 8th house, which is also a money house. So over the course of the next 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, Venus will make its way through Leo. And now you are absolutely taking charge of the financial matters or, needing to take care of things financially, absolutely wanting more attention or more affection. But this is a lot of planning, definitely with financial matters, okay? Because Capricorns could be very financial, especially since the Sun's going through Virgo. So it's like, I need to take care of business, that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of energy with Venus going through Leo. Now, but there is one alignment that you need to pay attention to on the 26th into the 27th is Venus is going to be opposing powerful Pluto. And this could be some major changes to the financial system or your investments or, money in general or your values. Maybe there's a relationship that's a little shaky and so you're not sure what the hell to do with it. That kind of energy is what I'm talking about. So be very careful. Make sure you're planning it properly between this powerful alignment that's taking place here. Okay. Anyway, there's the general overview. If you want to know more, I do an extended version of this horoscope in my Inner Circle community, as you can see here. I also do the weekly astrology video, which the members really do enjoy. And every Sunday, we're on a Zoom call and interacting with the members, and they ask me questions. I look over some charts, answer a few questions, and we talk about everything that I cannot talk about on YouTube. Everything from conspiracies to UFOs to politics to religion, you name it, we discuss it all. Anyway, consider joining. There's a free 7-day trial, link down below, and I look forward to seeing you in the community. Anyway, have a great month, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.